All righty, welcome back to another episode of Tackle and Tacos, a fishing podcast. Jordan, how you doing?
Welcome. I'm doing all right, man. For the first time in 3 weeks, I have a bandage off my finger. Although, as
Yeah,
referenced, it looks like it's dead. The table saw
it
accident
does.
still lingering. It's actually not. Like where the cut is kind of dead. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry, it's kind of gross, but I'm doing better. Like I'm actually healing now. The infection is finally gone, and yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody out there. I feel like everybody's seen John Wick. I don't know which one of like the 11 that there is now, but where he takes that wood chisel and just cuts his digit off. I thought I was going that route for a while, and like you could say, oh, holding hands with your wife or like touching your kid's hair, but I'm like, dude, it's gonna be so hard to tie knots. Like that's that was like the main thing I did not want to lose
yeah,
my finger for was I didn't want to not be able to tie like a FG or a whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
So how
sure.
you-
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was gonna tell you, you probably should not put that on camera. We might have to censor this or something on YouTube because it does in fact look like it is I think unalived, as they say on the TikToks and whatnot, but
it don't look good.
it's rough. No.
Yeah, it is weird, but whatever. I'm just honestly. All right, you there?
Yeah, gotcha.
Sorry, that's an amateur mistake. I had to take off my Wi-Fi. I have it plugged in via the Ethernet to USB-C adapter, and it's 10 times faster and eliminates glitchiness. But because we are not pros at this, I forgot to do it beforehand. But anyway, so
Rookie
Nate,
move.
yeah, that is a rookie move, man. How you living, dude? I heard you've been having wrestling, football, baseball, soccer, cricket, and wiffle ball practice. Is that correct?
Man, we're doing it all here in the Conklin
You're
household for
not,
sure.
you're like the dad. You're not like playing wiffle ball.
No, no, I mean I would if if duty calls, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna put one over the fence. I'll tell you that.
I like that cockiness.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
but yeah. Another busy day of basketball and wrestling back to back, and I think tomorrow's the same. And we've got a couple events this weekend post Thanksgiving dinners. So what do we got? I think we got basketball on Saturday and wrestling tournament on Sunday. So
It's like
it's gonna
fun.
be
Ali, the calendar when you got multiple kiddos and multiple sports and what it runs you over like a daggum steamroller so fast. Like it doesn't care about you or what else you got going on or how tired you are. The calendar will chew you up with zero regard for anything.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But we're scraping by. We're getting there. It's tough, but got to do it. Got to
Dude,
do it for the kiddos. So
when I lived in Atlanta, there was this lady. I cannot remember her name. It was like a cool, like classic name, like Wendy, or just something really simple, like a pretty, like old school name. And she was always pregnant, always. Like I think she had like the gestation of an elephant. Like she'd just be pregnant for like 3 years at a time. And
right,
she was one of these people that like it was like that for her. Like she had a bunch of kids already. She was always pregnant. But if you ever asked her how she was doing, she was like a victim to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Wendy, how you doing? She'd be like, you know, getting by. I'm like, shut up. Like this is your choice, yo. Like you're choosing
yeah.
your kids in sports. Just roll with it. Like I'm sure it's not easy, but like I was just sort of rhetorically small talk asking how you're getting by, not struggling. But anywho, tonight, man, I'm pumped. You excited, Nate, to have Brian Brosdahl on the show or what?
Absolutely, the guy. Really,
Dude,
what I'm hoping for
let-
is well, yeah, what I'm really hoping for is he can convince me to
Mhm.
go ice fishing this year.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
That's my goal out of this episode
that's a big one. You're
is
putting a big one out there. That's a tough goal.
yeah, I actually had a conversation with my little brother while we were at wrestling practice tonight. He said, "Hey, let's go ice fishing this winter." And I said, "I would rather put my boat in the river in 29-degree water than go ice fishing." And he said, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
So let's have the man
If
talk me out
anybody
of that
can do it, Bros,
nonsense.
if anybody can
Yeah,
do it, dude is up for it. This is a guy like
absolutely.
first off, we've been trying to talk to him about being on the show forever, and right away via like email or whatever through his website, brosguideservice.com. Right away, he was like super kind and humble and shit. Like, yeah, man, let's do it, let's go, right away. And then just life happened with like scheduling and whatever. And so this is a guy who I grew up watching on TV. He's contributed to every magazine and fishing show on planet Earth. I'm talking about In-Fisherman to like Linder's angling edge to, I mean, everything. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And when you see him, if you've been fishing for more than a couple of years, you know who he is. He's legitimate, like a legendary cat in the sport, and he's still doing it, still guiding ice and open water. And I think he's up for the challenge to make a stubborn black man want to go ice fishing. I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess we'll see. We'll see when we bring him in a sec. So before we get there, though, we got to press pause and thank all of our sponsors for jumping on with this nonsense. First up is the folks at Grizzly Coolers. They are the title sponsor of our show. If you go to grizzlycoolers.com, code WCB Whiskey Charlie Bravo on all the drink mugs. What am I, 90? On the interweb, on their webpage, grizzlycoolers.com, everything from the drink stuff to the coolers. Their apparel game is really strong. And they do have, if you never knew, they do have that crazy 450 quart cooler that was designed for packing out elk and stuff. But even like with, you know, this last week, congratulations, shout out my son. Today's his birthday, actually. So happy birthday, Dom.
Yeah, shout out.
And 2 days ago, he shot his first buck ever during Wisconsin opening morning. The funniest thing was, real quick, grizzlycoolers.com, code WCB. 15% off. Anyway, opening morning, he's texting me and our middle boy, Vinny. We're in a different location, totally different, like county hunting than where Dom and my brother-in-law are. And he's like, we can't find our tree stand, like in the dark. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like, and I'm like, gosh, dog, you know, like these are the things that like you need to figure out beforehand. I told him where it was. His mom told him where it was. My wife, Lola, she shot a buck out of that stand bow hunting. Like it hasn't moved. I can't find my tree stand. And then like a couple minutes later, he's like, I found it. And then like 3 minutes later, he's like, buck down. And I'm like, liar. You know, like, no way, dude. And sure as shoot, man, he shot a perfect little 8, like basket rack buck, put a really good shot on it. It was actually quartering to him a little bit, and he blew through the front and kind of off the back shoulder. Just nailed him, and I'm so proud of him. And happy birthday, man. So also Loophole Optics. If you're not a part of the Loophole Optics game yet, you should be. Just the nastiest sunglasses. That's like our main thing we're part of with them is the performance eyewear team. But then of course scopes, binos, everything that came into play this weekend, best in the game. I literally can't get over how good their binoculars are, the focus range, the clarity, the adjustments on them. I'll say this, the adjustments on the Loophole binos are awesome, but they're also simple. You don't have to go to like a college class to figure out how to get these things to focus up and zoom in. They're just super easy to use, really perfect. Hook and Arrow Supply, Giltech, Gilltek. And then of course, Moldy's Marine, veteran-owned mobile detailing service that does so much more than that for your boat. He can do fiberglass work, electronics installs, hull repair even. He'll fix transoms. It's insane. Shout out to Jeremy Moldrum for that. And then, of course, we're on Waypoint TV, Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast. We're part of their podcast network. And I think that's it. Nate, let's get the socials, and then let's bring Bro in.
The socials are quite simply Tackle and Tacos on everything we're on, which is Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube, or the YouTubes, as Jordan always puts it. So yeah. And of course, tackleandtacos.com. Get all your Tackle and Taco merch, stickers, decals, all the good jazz. So
yeah, we do have the sticker sheets back in now too, like the big 8.5 by 11 sheet where you peel off the stickers like old school. We got those back in. We ran out and got some more made. And there's a few stickers on there that you can't get anywhere else. Like one of them, my favorite one, which is like the stump, like just a tree stump with one little green leaf growing out of it. And then it says positivity is worth the effort, which is like our tagline, and like the old school, like 1980s camp font, like where it's made out of wood, you know, like the wood font is really dope. But for that. So anything else, Nate? Let's bring the dude in. Yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah, bring him in. Let's go.
All right. So like we talked about, Brian Brosdahl, dude who's just been kind of synonymous with fishing my entire life. I can't wait to talk to him about his life in fishing. And then we're going to get into something that we've wanted to do on this podcast, like really since its inception, which this March will be 3 years ago, which is pretty wild to think about. And if you're watching this or listening to this, then you know the episode just before this that just released is Easton Fothergill, the current Bassmaster Classic champ, and that's pretty dope. We've had Gussie on, and then we had Justin Hamner on, and then we've had Easton Fothergill on. Things are going well, and so I'm stoked to have like these big name tournament guys, and then guys like Bro, who were guys I looked up to all coming up through my fishing career. And one of the things we wanted to do, coming full circle on my spiel, is have an episode about ice fishing. How do you find fish ice fishing? I can't tell you how many times I've set up my shack and my little buddy heater, have my flasher out, my little ion auger. I got all the goods. And then I just sit there and go, am I doing something wrong? Like, where are they? And I hate it's sort of how I feel sometimes when I'm archery hunting. You could plot me on any lake in America, and I'm not the greatest fisherman on earth, but I'll figure it out. You give me enough time, I'll dissect it. I know enough. Ice fishing, sometimes I feel stupid, and I'm hoping that Bro can help us figure out how to ice fish better and how to get Nate into ice fishing. So with no further ado, we bring to you a legend of the sport, Mr. Brian Brosdahl.
Hey, Nate, Jordan, and congratulations to Dom on that deer. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
He'll be pumped to hear that you said his name on a podcast. Yeah, he was really pumped. It was funny. The series of events to go from I can't find my stand to okay, I found my stand to buck down. And then his mom, who's at home with our 3-year-old Gus, she texts back, I'm crying. And I was like, stop crying.
Yeah, that's awesome, Dom. You're going to remember that the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And just remember, fishing is more fun than deer hunting.
Okay. All right. I'm not.
And then deer can be next.
Yeah.
I did my tour of duty. I deer hunted, and it's over here for the rifle season. And I could do bow, I could do all that stuff, but I'm guiding. So
yeah,
I end up going for the ritual, the Orange Army out here, and it's fun. And I had plenty of stuff I could have taken, but I'm kind of holding out for a little bit more. And I don't want to shoot a dog with horns. Like remember the Grinch? He had that dog.
Yeah.
He put a horn on his head.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Max. Yeah, you don't want to shoot Max.
No.
That's
no. So it's good to be here, and it took a while, but man, it was a busy summer.
Yeah. Were you? So you're still guiding, and are you? I don't want to like put stuff out there that's not accurate, but on your website, Bros Guide Service, it has like your rates. Are those accurate? Because they seem low for a dude of your caliber.
Well, you see, I have so many people. I've had people since I was like a third of that,
Mhm.
and so I've got clients that I've had for 28 years, and
Wow.
I had one whisker in my chin at that time, and even when I charged them that, they're like, "How much?" Like they didn't hear it the first time. You ever, your stuff in like Facebook Marketplace. My stuff isn't worth anything, but everybody else is worth a lot.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to give them a good value, and they're stuck with me. I don't have a big Christmas tree of other guides that I take some of their money, and if you help me on a trip or you take a trip for me, you get it all. I don't need to shave off your income because people are trying to make a living, and so I kind of give a value, and that's probably why I'm busy.
Yeah, that's great, man. Good for you. So, give us a memorable trip from this summer. Did you get anything like huge? Do you have like 100 fish a day? What are you going after mostly? Because I know you're a multi-species guy, but
Yeah, primarily I get calls for walleyes, and
Mhm.
so walleyes make the phone ring, and
Okay.
I'm in a really good area here, and but even in this area, it could be a grind. I mean, you just don't go out and just get them like it's remote part of Canada.
Sure.
But there are
All right.
times where it's like that here, and I live near Lake Winnipegosh, and some people know it, some don't. It is just full of walleyes, and then Red Lake's just north of me here, and that's like going to Canada. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get them as fast as you drop the jig down. So, but there's times when fishing can be a little bit tougher, and that's where I come in.
Sure. Yeah. Is that when you get booked up the most? Is during like the slower days or?
No, I have a wide variety of people that some people live on a lake, some
Mhm.
people are young, some people are retired, some people were kids when they got in my boat for the first time with their
Wow.
parents, and now they have kids,
Yeah.
or even a generation farther down, and I'm like, and I'm still here, so
I'm
I just keep telling the kids, get a good job
yeah.
because then I know they'll hire me. But
Yeah.
I don't. I get people that don't know how to fish and stuff like that. But
Sure.
I kind of have a draw. My guide buddies all around here. I've got maybe 50 guide people within 100 square miles here, and they say I kind of get a different crowd than they do.
Mhm.
I get a lot of people that are avid anglers, and because they see them in my boat, and it's like a tournament. They're up in front casting and stuff like that, and they
Yeah,
go, "My people can't do that," and I'm like, "I don't know. They're the people that call me, but it's about unplugging. They
sure.
jump in and and unplug for the day and catch fish, and I do my best. I used to do tournaments, so I treat guide trips like a fishing tournament.
Okay, yeah. So do you have? I was going to ask you that.
That's awesome.
Who did we talk to, Nate? Josh Douglas.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, remember we talked to Josh Douglas, the guide.
Yeah.
He's a smallmouth guy, and he said he basically treats it the same way. He's like, I try and get 20 pounds for my clients on smallmouth a day, 5 fish, 20 pounds. Do you have guide goals like for a trip when they go out, or is it just go
Well,
the best, or how does that look for you?
you try to just go get fish, and you have different expectations every day. A lot of people, quite a few, want to get their limit of walleyes to eat.
Sure.
They
Yeah.
want to catch some big ones for photos. And so, the day with me, they compare to the best day of walleye fishing in their life, which is hard to, I was up on Lac Sewell, they'll tell me, and we caught close to 200 walleyes. So you ain't going to do that here.
Right. Yeah. This ain't lax.
You're not going to wiggle your finger in the water and pull out a walleye, but
Right.
um, it's, I take it serious, and they know I do. And I make sure that they catch fish, and it's all about them catching them. I don't catch fish, I net fish.
Oh,
And once in a
fish-
while, I'll have to reel one in.
you don't fish during your trips at all?
I do, but if there's kids on board, they reel in every fish I got. Uh,
Uh,
I want to make sure that they get to fight them and catch them. And if anything, if they're casting and they don't have the right cadence, I'll show them.
mm,
I'll get right next to them and
mm,
say, just do this. And there's certain things that are the same, and always pay attention to cadence, no matter who you're going with, whether it's me or someone else. And listen. And women really listen. You get a wife on the boat with her husband. She's heard everything you said, and she's doing exactly what you say, and she catches fish. And it's true.
no, I
They're
believe
listeners.
because it's so accurate. Yeah, for sure. Because
Yeah.
the guy's like, "Oh, I got this," and the wife is like, "How do you do this again?" She actually listens, does what you say, and then nails them.
She's already,
Yeah.
yeah, she nails them. And then I'm glad to see the ladies getting out with the families and doing it. Or sometimes they have groups of ladies, and they even have some that are in their 60s and 70s that come out, and they take it really serious, and they do really well. But it's fishing. I mean, fishing is that's what keeps us healthy. It's a fun sport. What else can you do where you could be on water and you could see all that goes on, the wave action, what you see, what you hear out there, the birds, the loons, catch fish, then you could eat them.
Yep.
Or, I got people, they don't even keep any fish.
Yeah.
They just want to catch them. And so, or I have people that want to learn more about how to start with the electronics to a fish on their line. So get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You're speaking my
Heck
language.
yeah.
I couldn't agree more. When I'm on the water, um, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes I have to sort of like tell myself, like, just press pause and absorb this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the old movie, The Great Outdoors. I don't know if you know that movie with John Candy. And
Yeah.
he says it like a jokey way, but he's like, take it in. This is beautiful country or whatever. But I also like it is when you're on the water and like you said, the loons or just the waves lapping against the boat or how the clouds move in. Or yeah, I can't get enough of it.
Well, before we went on, we were talking. Nate was talking about fishing the river,
Mm,
and I grew up fishing the river, and it's fun watching the current,
mhm.
just current how it hits their seams and reading the current in shallow riffly areas. It's very relaxing when you're cruising. Okay, there's a rock there, you go around it, and I grew up on a shallow segment of the Mississippi River, and I learned the hard way. You don't travel straight to a V in the water.
Yeah.
There's something there waiting to get you.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
but that's fun. I love river fishing.
it is.
Yeah, Jordan and I have had some pretty good days mistakenly on the walleyes here on the river. That it's been quite fun. So it's definitely got them. So
Yeah, one of my favorite days on the river, bro, catching walleyes. We were fishing a bass tournament, and we got into this absolute best way I can describe it is like a wolf pack of mature walleyes. You know, like
Oh,
26, 28 and above, like inches, like just really big walleyes. And we're throwing crankbaits for bass in the area. We've caught smallmouth before, and the walleyes are just killing it. And then I catch what I think is my PB. I'm assuming 7-8 pounds, like a really big wall, like big walleye. And I fished few times with big wall. I've never caught a double digit. And again, I'm mostly a bass guy and whatever. But and then I'm like, Nate, let's weigh this thing. And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he grabs his scale and he has no batteries in it. Like, you people, you just ruined my PB. Well, I still think it's my best ever, but I wish I could have some kind of number on it. If it was, if I was Vinny, my middle child, I would just make it up like a real specific number. That was 9 pounds, 4.5 ounces. You know, he would just make it
yeah.
real on the. But yeah, it is fun when you get into them. They're a different breed altogether for sure, especially the big ones.
That's fun,
Yeah, I
and
knew.
they eat on the rivers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they got shoulders.
Yeah, yeah, I knew right where that story was going with
Yeah,
the missing batteries. So
the hate
I
was coming. Yeah, the hate was coming,
I
dude.
appreciate it.
Yeah, so bro, thanks for doing the show, man. We're pumped to have you on. What I really want to talk to you about, like I said, is ice fishing stuff. I'd like to get into that and get some like real practical tips on how you can be better at ice fishing, how you can be safe out there, all that just basic stuff. Hopefully you can talk Nate into wanting to ice fish again, because he did a long time ago buy all the gear and then decided he was too black to ice fish and got rid of all the gear. But hopefully that'll work. But before we do all that, I'd really like to just kind of hear a bit of, as deep as you want to take it, your story. How long you been doing fishing as a living? How did you get started in fishing? Where did the light bulb turn on? Like, dude, I could do this to actually like survive. Wherever you want to go with it, man, if you would.
Well, this next season is my 32nd year of guiding, and so I guided on the ice because
Second, wow.
you have to
Yeah,
make you have to make money, and the whole thing is, uh, I love fishing, and if uh, if I go fishing, I'm not making any money, but if I take people fishing,
Yeah.
then I'm fishing and I'm making a living, and
Sure.
so it just kind of happened, and I just want to help people catch more fish, and to kind of save a lot of time. Uh, and along the way, you meet people because I'm catching fish. People hear about it, and then, hey, can you jump on the show? Can you do this? So if I go back, I want to say it was 25 or 26 years ago. Dwayne Peterson, and I was friends with the Northland tackle people, but he had me come in the office and said, "I know you love using our stuff, but can we make it official?"
Mm,
They said, "Bro, we got something that we want to do with you, and just sign this paperwork." And I said, "We don't need to sign. I'll just use your stuff." He goes, "No, this is to make it legit. You just can't. We want to reward you for the stuff, give you tackle that you need and stuff." I never read it. I just signed it. I get home and I threw it on the table. Then this is a long time ago. Like I said, I had one whisker on my chin, and Heather's like, "Did you know you're getting paid?" And I said, "I never read that part. I did not know they're paying me." She goes, "This is sponsorship, and can you get more of these?" So that's how it started,
light
just like
bulb.
that.
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit naive, and I didn't have sharp elbows, but I still don't. I just a lot of the sponsors I have are a phone call. "Hey, would you be interested?" Sure, and some I went after, and so I have to say that 80% of my sponsors are they called me
Mm,
or emailed me, and
mhm.
which is really nice. And I can't tell you how exciting it is to have Northland as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Gamakatsu
Yeah.
is legendary. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, I bought furniture in their place. I know I did when I was in the tournaments because I bought so many hooks. And so, I mean, all these different companies and Fish Monkey, Humminbird, Minn Kota, Cannon, Johnson Outdoors.
Yep.
Super exciting. Lund boats and just everything. AFCO, which like this shirt's really
Yeah.
cool stuff. I
One
mean,
hoodie on right now. Yeah, they make awesome stuff.
and it's cool when it's warm and it's warm when it's cool. But anyway,
Hmm.
to be able to be with these companies, St. Croix rods, I mean, fantastic. And uh, just it's just good to be around that 7 reels. So that I have.
Are you running those 7 reels?
Oh, absolutely,
You
yeah.
are.
They
I don't.
have bearings that are amazing.
They feel really good in your hand. And obviously, being a Wisconsin guy, I want to support them. I just haven't grabbed any yet, and I've been meaning to. But yeah, they look good. They feel good in your hand. Like they're the right size. The bearings feel smooth.
And I have people all the time, and that handle's going nonstop.
Mm.
They, they all from all over the place say one thing: they can't believe how smooth the reel is, and they haven't been able to kill any yet. I mean, once in a while, someone sits on one or steps on one, but
Sure.
they still don't kill it. So
Mm.
they're trying to
Yeah.
kill it. They can't kill it. So, but I'm excited because you know, bearings are very important, and Japanese bearings are the best there is you could possibly get. And now they're going to go with Japanese bearings in their 7 reels.
Mm.
So don't get better in the industry. And it's a high end thing. It's expensive,
Hmm.
but they want that reel to be super smooth, and they cover everything. And it's St. Croix, and they need combos to
Yeah.
compete in the marketplace. So it's very exciting to be a part of that. And as far as wintertime too, fish armor, if
Hmm.
you're going to take your electronics off your boat, I have a shuttle to carry it in. I have the down rod. I actually got the down rod still sitting here, so I can use
Oh,
my Mega Live
live
2.
too. Yep, on the ice.
This looks like something Aquaman would throw, right?
That is awesome.
That is.
Isn't it bad?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean,
that is awesome.
I
that's
I, I love it. And another thing too, like in ice fishing, I never thought it'd be fun because when I was a kid, I used to read comic books. The kids now are spoiled. They got like Avengers and DC.
yeah.
But I mean, Nightcrawler.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
really. I mean, this stuff. Fish Monkey thought of this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, long and short of it,
Yeah.
it's
Really
it's,
smart.
it's a lot of fun
Yeah.
and warm, being able to survive long out there. Batteries that are super light. You guys got to get hooked up with these guys because they're the best, and these things weigh like nothing. I mean, they're so light,
That's sick.
and that's not how it was when I first started. We had a lot of dead batteries. We
Yeah.
had- oh man, and then of course augers. I use a. I don't have it here, but I use a DeWalt drill, and
Right.
and I have a Milwaukee also. So I just like the fixed arm on the DeWalt for ice drilling. I use it all summer to build stuff, fix the porch, whatever. And then I just add a razor auger to it. And that thing is super light, weighs under 6 pounds, and you could just drill holes in. So in ice fishing, I want to tell people when you start out,
Yeah.
it's a sport for everybody. And Nate, you got to reconsider this because it is the most affordable sport you could ever get into. And you could actually eat what you catch that day.
Yeah. That
And
is
you
nice.
could it's not a boat thing where you need life jackets and regulations and how many people can you fit in the boat. You could bring the whole town. You could bring a whole school out there if the ice is safe. But you got to make sure one important thing is to have spikes.
Yeah.
And why? Well, no one wants to fall through, but if you got spikes, you climb out. You're not going to do it with your fingernails. And I've been on the ice for oh man, I've been on the ice for like 40 something years, and stuff has happened.
Hmm.
You're not going to climb out with your fingernails. So if you bring insurance, if you're wearing safety gear, it's not going to happen to you. And if it does, then it's just water off a duck's back. So that's the important thing. We're not going to get too far into it, but look up what you need to be safe on the ice online because there's a wealth of knowledge available.
Yeah. That's
We
good.
won't go too far into that because it's all there. A throwable, flotation rope, and everything. But you need a little toboggan. You don't need nothing fancy. Oh, I'm gonna go get this toboggan that's like super this. No, just get a toboggan, whatever's cheap.
Yeah.
You couple buckets and a way to get through the ice. And that's what I like about Razor. That's why I chose Razor augers. They're super inexpensive,
Mm.
and you probably already have the tool in your garage to drill.
Mm.
So
Yeah, for sure.
So your cost is really low. So right there with the toboggan, buckets, razor auger, that part right there, you're less than $300. Uh, with the kids, you can get a St. Croix, or they could start out by building a rod, off of broken pieces, whatever. It all depends on how far you want to get into it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a tournament angler, if you want to have my boat that I guide out of and do tournaments in, you're talking that's like giant money. But
Yeah.
for ice fishing, you could be a pro on the ice for less than $500.
That's so
I
awesome.
mean, that's what it is. And
Yeah.
so maybe some tip ups like iFish Pro, so you could, reel in your fish when it bites. Just put the rod in,
Yep.
down, and then people ask how I keep this from running out. I'll put a rubber band around the handle, and I'll tuck this little finger line in there, and when the fish pulls, it drops down. So you could run that as a tip up. So you don't have to get it doesn't have to get carried away. You might have with ice fishing half of what you need or more than that just in your garage already, and then the will to want to go dress warm. Um, if I have to say one thing after the spikes,
Yeah.
how I mentioned this is number one
Yeah.
flotation.
Yeah.
Before flotation, I would say cleats on your boots.
Okay.
I don't care if you skate, if you're in hockey, what you are. If you hit your head, uh, you got to keep your brain intact.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. It's easy to slip.
Yeah, for sure.
And then as far as where to go,
Yeah.
it depends on what you're after. If you just want to get action,
hmm
you want to go someplace, you don't want current. No, I did a seminar last year in Iowa, and I seen people fishing on a river that I thought was had some current to it, and I'm not going out there. If there's current, I see people doing it up at Rainy River up on the border there.
Yeah.
You just gotta. It's a different thing. You have to have. You have to be really prepared. So I would say no current. Find a lake. Start with the weeds. Get on the edge of the weeds. And the nice thing with ice fishing is you can actually and you can get apps on your phone like One Boat Network has a lake map right on it, so you can look and see where you're at. But you can walk out. If there's no snow, you could see the weeds down there. And when the weeds end, you back up and get right on that edge. That's all it is. You drill a hole, you try it. If it don't work, you go drill another hole. And so on an average day, I drill 200 holes for my clients.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And but I'm doing them here and there, and I don't. And sometimes I just drill to look for new areas. And some days I only drill 40.
Mm.
I'll set them up here. We got them here yesterday. Let's see how it goes. And I'll set them up, and then I start looking because I know in my world it's all going to end soon. So you better find something else.
Yeah.
And I'll come back. How you guys doing? Well, what's the limit? And when they say that, it's good. I'm
Yeah.
like, why? What's
yeah.
going on? Oh, you guys got a lot of fish. You better make sure you don't go over your limit, and you're counting fish. And you've
Yeah.
only been there for 20 minutes, a half hour. So those are good days. And other days where you check back, we got one. Okay, I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
So that's reality.
Yeah.
We have no control over nature, but we can use our apps, we can use our knowledge to find fish. And fish need to feed, and early ice is the best because you're coming off the fall bite and it continues under the ice.
hmm
So
Makes sense.
the real hurry is to get to that bite before it ends, because in the I call it the corner before we turn the corner into the long doldrums of winter.
hmm
That December January time is pinnacle for really good action. And then when you get into February, it like things slow down a little bit. We have more access to get out there. They're driving ice castles out there. You
Yeah.
can go just about everywhere, and that's when things start slowing down. Oxygen is a thing, and fish go deeper. They become less active. They bite morning and evening. The hour power, as I call it, right at dark. Sun hits the treetops. They bite. So early on, whether you're in Iowa or Wisconsin or Minnesota, you just get out there as soon as you get ice. 4 inches of safe ice.
I was gonna ask. Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
short or the
4 inches because have
okay.
I been on less? Yeah.
Yeah.
But have other people? Yeah. But if you are someone that posts on the internet, you cannot post less than 4 inches of ice because it is your responsibility. If someone
Yeah.
goes out there and falls through because you're showing them you're on 2 or 3,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be on the internet. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just the rules. What
That's a
the
good way to
DNR
look at it.
guidelines, right? So I tell people, like, oh, I'm out. I'm gonna go. You know, you see people all the time. I'm on 2.5, 3 inches of ice out here. We're way out in the lake. Yeah, but you shouldn't post it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's keep that to yourself. If you're out there, if you're making it, if you put 4, you're not going to go through on 4. you know, they. But if you doubt ice, not sure, go to a resort.
Mm.
I mean, like here, Red Lake up here is that's a big deal. When that freezes, every resort has a crew that are on the ice checking, drilling, and they got flags out where you walk and where you can fish that's safe.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll tell you not to go past this, to give you a piece of paper. You pay them the money. They've already done the sweat work. You just walk out and go catch the fish. So there's that, or you hire a guide like me, and I've already done that. So you show up, we put you in a warm house, and you're fishing out of a warm house using a Humminbird Explorer. So you could see, everybody sees their lines. You can see the fish coming up to your bait, and it gets real heated when a fish is coming to someone's bait and then passes it up to go to the other person's.
All right.
Oh, it sounds
Oh, fish.
like a football game. It's like Vikings, Packers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was a good one on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh man.
As a Packer fan.
Yeah. Somebody has to
Right?
be.
Yeah, you okay, so let's just press pause for 2 seconds, bro. What do you think about JJ McCarthy? Be for real.
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Now Heather, I've come home and found a TV that was broken because of a field goal kick one time,
Yeah.
and she said that all the trucks going by on the roads. Well, the road is a long ways away, and
Yeah.
the vibration ain't gonna knock the TV over. But
I like
just
how
so happened there's a Vikings game and they lost by a field goal kick, and my TV was smashed.
dude,
So
Heather, awesome.
then you know what?
Yes.
I said, you probably didn't do it, but that's all right. That's why I don't even watch stuff anymore. I'm probably on another lake drilling, and I'm a big guy, but I cover miles.
Sure.
And ice fishing is different. It's not like I'm in the grandma's marathon and I've got mile 12 coming up. No, I drill holes. And if she's with me, I wave her up on the machine. So I measure the distance. And then you drive in on the way back and you never leave your area.
Mm.
You just measured it and drilled. And so I've got safe passage. But I've watched people not get out at all. They see me out there on a four-wheeler or in a Chevy Tracker, two-door Tracker, and I'll drill and measure the ice the whole way, and I'll just see a guy in a four-door Jeep just drive by
Yeah.
and think that going fast is going to help. So don't be lazy. Drill holes, check the ice,
Smart.
and I had a Suburban pull up on me one time, and I was on Walker Bay of Leech Lake,
Mm.
and I'm fishing a piece of structure, 28-foot top, surrounded by 80 feet of water. And the Suburban pulls up. How's the bite going here? And I'm in a Chevy Tracker that weighs about what a Polaris or Can-Am would weigh.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the ice is bending underneath them, and water's starting to appear. And
Oh
I
my.
said, well, you guys, you're in 8.5 inches of ice here, and water's gathering. You're about to go through, and you should have seen those guys. They had toothpicks in their mouth. They were at a restaurant and stuff, so they stopped by to just see what I was up to with a Suburban
Yeesh.
full of people. So don't be lazy. Drill holes, measure, check, and you will always have a good time and never have problems.
That's good. Yeah. Let me ask you can I ask you
Yeah.
a question, bro? Just
Sure.
this is gonna like show my ignorance, but like I do like ice fishing, but I'm not like I don't know if you heard like the little intro deal. It kind of reminds me of bow hunting. Sometimes I really enjoy doing it, but I don't always feel confident. Can you, as far as like you were saying, find weed edges and all that, can you fish stuff that you fish open water, or is it not the same?
Oh, it's absolutely the same.
Okay.
Where you would throw for bass,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, early ice. I love catching bass on ultralight tackle. You got
Yeah.
these big, powerful animals on light tackle, and it's just a blast. And you don't always get to go where you want to.
Hmm.
So I might want to fish Winnie, Leech, Cass, Red Lake, but there might be a shallow lake that has pike, bass, maybe a few perch. I'm
Hmm.
fine with that. I'll
Yeah.
go there and have a good time. It's not always about, oh, can I get this cut of meat or that cut of meat? No, it's not about harvest. It's about scratching that itch, getting on the ice,
Yeah.
safe ice.
Hmm.
And that's where I like to have a way of putting a plotter line down when I'm going out. Because I've been on early ice. You drill here. Oh, this is like 2.5 inches, but this is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and you find it and you're checking and you got your way out there. Well, I leave a line because I've had snow come in and cover everything. You
Oh,
can't see your spud marks, you can't see
sure.
Mhm.
anything. And so you go in and you can walk your line.
That's
And
learn this stuff. This is so practical and so smart.
Yeah.
well, it's the thing is with ice, everybody can go. You can bring a neighbor, bring a friend. It's very social.
Hmm.
It's very community. So you go out there with the kids, and someone will come out and visit with you. It's not like a boat. If someone pulls up on you and you're fishing one of your best bass spots, are you gonna like that?
Yeah, yeah, no, we're fighting. Get out of
Yeah, not a chance.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh man! So on the ice, I have people. I'm at like a really good spot.
Yeah.
They come up, hey man, and I'm like, well, they're there, so they know this is a good spot,
Yeah.
and we're visiting, and or someone's really struggling. Even if I'm guiding, I bump into people. I'm like, you got to try this. Here's something from Northland. Check this out.
I like that.
And, and that's what I like, and that's how you get some, customers or clients later. I've actually helped out clients that not most, some guides get all hot under the collar, but
Mhm.
you can gain them as clients later. You help them out, they're going to want to go with you and see how
Right.
you do it. And so I've had that in a boat and on the ice where people will drill and try to get close to you.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to hire you if they don't catch anything
Yeah.
because you got just a few. And they're like, that's all it was. Well, yeah, but sometimes the trick is the trade, right?
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. Nate, you got some questions for this dude? I want you to ask questions where you might be light switch moment for ice fishing.
Yes. Well, the first one I'm thinking of is how long do you typically give a hole before you head to the
A
next?
great question.
That's a super question. I try to qualify spots. If I see fish, well, now we have Humminbird Explorer with Mega Live 2. I
Yeah.
can spin it
Hmm.
and see fish if it's an open basin. But if I'm fishing weeds, I'll look and you can see fish moving through the weeds. You could see movement, and I try to see fish. Then I'll fish. Um, Sometimes it's not about when you leave a hole; it's when you fish it. So if you drill holes and there's no fish there, you just keep going, but check back. If you, it depends on how solid the spot is.
Mm.
If you're in a weed bed and you could look down the hole with your eyes to see these are green, these are lush. I mean, if I was a fish, I'd want to live there. Or you look down, it's brown and rotten.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're jigging and you see something coming through, but they don't bite, check back. And but I think it's tougher when you're on open playing fields, like hard to soft bottom edges. So where there's sand that turns into mud, those spots you really got to check. In some lakes, that's where the walleyes are.
Mm.
Early ice. Walleyes will be working these areas where the little perch are swimming through, or shiners. And so I have a lake nearby. Just this is kind of an example where it's a lot of 20, 15, 20, 30 feet, and there's big flats. Well, this one spot just comes up a little bit and it tops out at 8 feet, and it's surrounded by mud around this big flat.
Mm.
And there's a few rocks here, a few rocks there, maybe a couple strands of weeds, and the walleyes cruise through. And so you got to find out where they're working it. And so what I'll do is I'll drill just a circle of holes, maybe 25 holes, but we're using razor auger, zip, 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 super easy.
Mm.
And so just scattered holes, but don't over drill. You're gonna keep pushing them out. Drill, let it rest, go do something else, come back. Maybe leave something there. Otherwise, you just drilled for someone else to walk over and fish.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I've had, sometimes people want to fish in your hole, but people have grown up fishing differently. I don't get mad at them. I'm like, whatever. If they're fishing a hole, I'm not going to say anything. I wish them well, because got to have some of that positive stuff. But if they keep fishing my holes, I'm going to say, there's my auger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't get that here. Like in other areas, I hear that they'll fish in a hole next to you. That person who does that is in a different mindset. So
Sure.
they don't want to find fish; they want to find your fish. But just let them do it. That's all you can do. But so finding the spot, seeing where they're moving through, even before technology, you would set out some dead sticks, and then you would jig some holes. If the fish comes through, because even in the past we had flashers.
Yeah. I
You see,
love. I still run a flasher. I love my flasher.
Yeah.
you get this coming up, and then or the drift by.
Yeah.
That is a walleye window shopping
Mm.
that spot, and it's going to come back. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where. Even Winnebago, I fish Winnebago, and you'll have fish come through. And are they whitefish? Or are they not whitefish? Are they white bass? Or are they walleyes?
Sure.
Either. But if they come through, they're going to come back. And so it's about seeing where the fish are, and then being there when they bite. So if you get to a lake at like 3 o'clock, you're going to drill around, fish a little bit. Keep an eye on what you see, and then at dark, be at the holes where you've seen the most movement, and you're going to be surprised. That's when they're going to start moving.
Yeah,
And
nice.
small
Heck
spoons,
yeah.
like jigging a minnow. So here's a thumper spoon. It's got treble hook and stuff. Just put a little minnow head on top of there, or some waxies, depending. If you're fishing walleyes, you want a minnow head, but put waxies on there if you're fishing perch or something like that, and just jig it. One hop to get that thing to come up and then tumble down, and then some double hops. But it's not about ripping it.
Okay.
You want that thing to flutter and draw the fish in. And then if you are in a spot that has perch, I do the 1-2 punch. I'll drop that down. Then I'll have something smaller on, ready to go. Like here's a small spoon.
Yeah, that is tiny. Is that a
I know, isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Jeez.
I like to tie this stuff in
Yeah.
a really bright garage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at now. So put one wax worm on that thing, and if you got perch, they're just gonna inhale this. Or if they're bluegills or crappies, and I just remember you telling me you're near Eau Claire.
Yeah.
And I fished some of those bodies of water there that have crappies, and then some surprising flat, shallow, not shallow, but like 20 something lakes that have big jumbo perch in them. And
Yeah.
so, add plastics.
Mm-hmm.
If I could slow down that tail. Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I put a single hook on there, a Gamakatsu Siwash hook, so the plastic sits straight, and then I could still add a wax worm. So just mess around with it a little bit, and always have bait, wax worms, and then Euro larvae or spikes, or they're also called maggots.
Yep. Spikes. Yeah.
Yep. They work really well, and if you can get them, if you can't, you could order them from Vados Express. They'll ship them anywhere. But a lot of bait shops will try to have them. Here's another little trick: take a spoon
Awesome.
like this
Thank you.
tungsten slim spoon,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a piece of plastic. I took the treble hook off, and I threaded the plastic on, and then put the treble back on.
Oh whoa.
That's a little piece of pan candy plastic, which is a TP plastic, and then I put scent on it, and it absorbs it like a sponge.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's rad.
I
Yeah,
think I
they
caught
don't-
like a billion fish on this thing one day. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty. I had to put a minnow head on just because I felt guilty. They're just throwing themselves at a piece of plastic on there. And
Dang. What line do you typically run, bro?
I run
Everything else.
Sunline.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yep. And so I like a thin but good. Right now, I have it down to 1 pound test.
1 pound. Holy.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're in a pressured area and there's big panfish or bluegills, perch, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always in an area that the fish throw themselves at you. Sometimes you have to have a little technique and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very finesse. And so that's when I use this stuff. But I was at a show in Detroit in Novi, and someone said, "Hey, check this stuff out," because I never used 1 or 2 pound test
Yeah.
because it breaks so easy. You flip a crappie up or bluegill and it snaps sometimes. Um, but this stuff, I did the test. Well, I kind of emptied the pegs after I tested it. I'm like, I
Wow.
love this stuff.
Yeah.
But and then you kind of, it depends where you're at. If you're fishing for walleyes, you want a heavier line. Uh, you know, maybe 4 or 5 pound test. But remember, if you're not fishing in an area with brush, they got nowhere to go.
Sure.
It's all about your drag. It's how you set your drag. They can't snap your line if you set the drag, just
Right.
like open water.
Yeah.
So if you got lighter line and there's a big fish on there, set it loose. So when they jerk their head side to side under the hole, you got time. And one of the key things for everybody to remember, and I see this all the time, when you get a walleye or a big fish at the bottom of the hole, don't pull hard.
Okay.
Go gentle because they might go back down. If you pull hard, you could actually stick the part of the treble hook in the ice and then the other parts in their mouth. So it's about taking your time. And most of the fish that I've had clients lose, and I give them the speech as we're getting closer to walleye. When you get a nice walleye up to the bottom of the hole, take your time and pull slowly. That fish has got to turn and come up the hole. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's a 6-inch hole, 8-inch hole. Give it time to turn and come up the hole. Once it comes up the hole, then you flip it out with your hands. Don't pull because walleyes, their mouth is bony, but there's flesh too. So if you pull, you just rip in the flesh. And I've seen fish get lost, but you're gonna lose fish. There's nothing you can do about it. They get mean at the bottom of the hole,
Yeah.
but you can
Yeah.
just get gentle. Just think of it as they got 1, 2, 3 more runs, or they're gonna thrash a big pike. Take your time, especially a big bass. You hook a bass on a tiny lure,
Yeah.
they just go nuts. And if you could see them coming up on clear ice, like they're running into the ice trying to jump, and
Oh, cool.
it's so much fun. It
Yeah.
just is.
Yeah. That's
Heck
awesome.
yeah.
Ah, God, this is like a clinic right now, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like
No.
enjoying hearing this. This is super like specific. And anybody who's just listening to the podcast, not watching it on either Spotify or YouTube, when Mr. Brosdahl was holding up line to the camera, it was a Sunline fluorocarbon ice specific line in 1, 2, and 3 pound. Do you always run fluoro, bro?
I like fluoro ice. So for ice fishing, we're not casting.
Right.
We're fishing vertical,
Mm-hmm.
and fluorocarbon has a better sink rate.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
monofilament,
Yep.
you don't need it for ice. You
Yeah.
want fluorocarbon because it's straight up and down.
Very
You're in
low.
a deer stand sitting over the deer.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. You're above them and they're below you. So you're fishing and you want a better sink rate. And that is why I use fluorocarbon. It only makes sense. I mean, because it's they're right down there. And the real thing is you want to use small lures. Like there's a crappie king jig right there. Look how little that is.
Tiny.
And there's the
That's
mud
it.
bug. I designed that 20 years ago.
That's a legendary. That's a legendary jig.
The neat thing is so after all these years they made a mold out of for tungsten. So this was lead and
Mm,
now it's tungsten. So it's really cool that it survived that. And there's all
Even
kinds of,
smaller now, then, right?
oh yeah, and you can make it smaller. So that's why I like tungsten is you can make a smaller profile for the same weight. And
right.
in ice fishing, it's not about, in open water, sometimes it's bulk. In
Yeah.
ice fishing, sometimes it's micro, it's finesse. Everything, water is clear because all the particulates have settled down. So you get
Mhm.
clear landscape. Even in tannin stained water. It's clear. It's dark water, but it's still finesse. Even Lake of the Woods.
Yeah.
Sometimes micro tackle catches giant fish, and well, there's a lake there you could just put a spoon on, stick a minnow, and drop it down. I mean, and just let it sit there.
Yeah.
Uh, they're just animals up there. They just feed,
Yeah.
and that's not what it's like all the time. Sometimes it's a little finesse, a little jigging, cat and mouse, and that is the game of ice. You're vertical. That fish is below your feet. It's cat and mouse. You pull it away, get it to engage, and get it to bite. Or if it's a walleye, you don't want it to leave, so you drop it on the bottom, pound the bottom, and lift it up. And sometimes they just get mad and they hit it. So
Mm.
those are a few things you could do to really help you. But remember, you're not casting. You don't have to overfill your spools.
Mm.
Uh, Sometimes I do
Right.
because I'll take some of these 7 reels off and I'll put them on, little.
Yeah. What size reel is that? Is like a 100 series or what is that?
This is a 750 GS.
Okay, 750. Yeah, even smaller.
Yep, and
Oh,
so
there.
they have combos. They have they have premier and panfish combos, and they
Mhm.
come with this 500 size. So that's kind of nice, but it's about uh, seeing what the fish need. And when I use a Humminbird Explorer, I can see my lure, the fish, and if you put it straight down, you can see everybody's hole in the fish house. That's why I like to use it. It's one unit, and everybody can see everything,
Yeah.
and it's light, and so I try to have that for everybody. And sometimes I use a flasher. If I get a bigger group and they all need my sonars, I make sure that they have a Humminbird Explorer.
Mhm.
And I used to use the Helix with the Mega Live One.
Right. Yep.
This new stuff
No,
is
Mega 2 berries one. Just
Yeah.
berry.
oh
Yeah, it's not even.
it it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So with this, you could just press the screen and hit plus plus, and you could zoom in, and you can see micro bait tackle. You could see fin movements. You could see
Mhm.
everything. So you could do that in forward. You could do that straight down. But remember, hit the screen and hit plus plus. You could zoom in right where your lure is, and that's all that matters anyway.
That's sweet. Yeah. Do you run Mega Live
That is
2
neat.
as well,
Yep,
bro?
I do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I have all the updates, and it's amazing what you can get out of an update. It's just incredible,
It
and
is.
I like how they using the phone. I can update the stuff right here.
Yep.
Bluetooth to my graph to my Mega Live 2.
Yep.
It's
Wild. Yep.
controlling motor,
And software. Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even your remote, you
Yep.
could update.
Yeah, you can update your talons, all that stuff. I work at a dealership in Chippewa called Zacco's. We're like a big one.
Oh, sure, I've heard of that. I've driven by there.
Yeah, we should have you out sometime, man. We do seminars and stuff. But yeah, man. Nate and I are both live scope guys for forward facing, and
Yep.
then I run Humminbirds in my boat as well. But yeah, that's a slick deal. Can I ask you a specific
Yeah.
question real quick?
Sure.
One of the jigs you held up, I would assume it's a based off of it or something. It was a gold shad headed jig. It kind of looked like the Smeltinator, like the open water jig that Jeff Gustafson's buddy up in
Oh
Canada.
yeah.
Is that like a ice version of it, or is it just sort of similar?
Well, the gold one here. No, that's actually a.
That is a Northland thing, the Smeltinator,
Yep,
right?
it
Yeah,
is.
they bought the
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple years ago.
Yeah, this is
Hold on, let me
available. This is
yeah, that one. It looks kind of Smeltinatory, but with a bigger eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
This comes on a pre-rigged plastic, and
Okay. That thing looks
oh,
awesome.
this is fantastic. This is what I was catching them on when I fished perch up at Gogebic and Mille Lacs,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
we have kind of a right now is a good time to be alive because the perch populations, uh, you know, if you're a perch hunter, you're happy. But if you haven't really tried fishing or catching perch,
Mhm.
this is a prime opportunity because they're just a little version of a walleye or bass. They're a predator and they're extremely aggressive at times, and they're probably the best table fare you could get in a fish.
Yeah.
Firm,
Yeah.
super clean, sweet tasting fish, and and now there's perch everywhere. There's
Yeah.
Mille Lacs. I've
Yeah.
been waiting. That's been kind of down for a long time,
Mm.
and now it is on fire. All the lakes in the area, and it's Wisconsin, Minnesota, Dakotas. There's an explosion of perch up here.
Mm.
So there's all these little tiny perch. So this year's hatch of perch are what the perch are going to eat if they don't find insect life. So remember, perch are food for everything.
Yeah.
So imitate it.
That's good.
Smart.
Dude, yeah, this
Yeah.
out like the best advice ever. Yeah, this is awesome. I love it.
So I'll show
Hey.
you a perch right here.
Yeah, let's see it. What do you got, Nick?
This is, the old saying. You've heard me say this a lot, probably. Match the hatch.
Of
Well,
course.
there's
Oh
some
yeah.
perch colors to that, and
Really good.
that I like that little flickering
Thank
spinner in
guy,
the middle.
spinner blade, sorta. Yeah.
Looks like a earring or a belly ring or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fish pound it. I mean, they just get so mad at it, they just
Yeah.
destroy it.
Wow. Gosh, dog it. That's awesome, man. If people want to book you, bro, like, do you pick the lake? Do they pick the lake? How does that work?
I picked the lake.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got a bunch of lakes around, and everything varies. In open water, we chase temperature. Early ice, or early spring, you want the warmest water you can find. Deep lakes take a while, so the deep lakes are the good lakes later. Well, on the ice, it's the age of ice, so you've got to find the oldest ice on the freshest shallow lake, and then as the deeper lakes freeze, you go to those. So I'm going to know what's kind of current, what's relevant to go to, and I don't like. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to drill holes all day. I want you guys to sit down and catch fish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so everything that I do is based on what we did yesterday at close time at the end of the trip, based on what I've heard, what I know, and in my, I have a bunch of friends all over the place, and it's it's about what I find, and a lot of times I'm the only one out there, so my phone rings, but there's nothing coming my way. It's that's the whole thing. But so I will take you to where I know we can have a chance to catch fish, and I do a two-prong approach. We start for perch, we catch walleyes while we're fishing for them, and then we go for walleyes afterwards at the hour of power, because walleyes in my area, this is gin clear, glacial lake kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So right at dark, we chase the walleyes. You catch them sometimes during the day. So we target perch and then go for walleyes later. Sometimes we go for crappies. Some people want crappies, and then what we do, two prongs. We try two different things, or perch crappie or perch walleyes, because if you go for two different things, you might get both, or you're going to get something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what you do, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Keep it
really,
interesting.
hey, that's spoken like a dude with some guiding experience. You know what I'm saying?
Heck
Like,
yeah.
this dude is not new to it. Yeah, I love that, man. Nate, you want to play? You want to play one of your favorites real quick?
Oof, man. Yeah. Let's
Good.
we
So-
can try to get into it.
we do this goofy thing called one of your favorites. It's like a rapid fire where we just come up with stupid stuff, and you tell us one of your favorites in whatever category. It might be fishing, it might be life, it might be whatever, but just sort of just barf something out, whatever comes to your top of your mind first. All right.
Sounds good.
One of your favorites.
All right, bro. One of your favorite movies.
Oh, I would have to say the Blues Brothers,
Oh, it's
just
classic.
for the soundtrack and the comedy with it. I just love it.
Okay, I like that.
Heck yeah. One of your favorite, I guess, open water techniques. You do a lot of guiding on open water as well. How do you like to catch them?
Jig worm.
Really?
I like throwing a jig worm. Just at the right time, the right tungsten jig head, and then a jig worm for walleyes during the midge fly hatches. It looks just like a bloodworm. If you get the, eye candy, has a vein in it, purple vein, chartreuse outside. I've had fish just destroy that, but wouldn't touch bait. So I love jigworm, and it's great for bass, walleyes, crappies, everything. And then smaller version of a jigworm, like a bloodworm, for perch and bluegills, jigworm.
There it is. That's a good answer.
Heck
What
yeah.
are your favorite things to do that doesn't have to do with fishing?
I like grouse hunting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not a I love having a big buck or something walk in and stuff, but I have no patience. I'm
Yeah. So you want
sitting
to get out
there and TikTok
something? Yeah.
and and so I'm just getting off of deer season and I was letting stuff pass because there's a lot of little stuff. I shot a lot of it's not about meat. I want to have fun. But grouse hunting, if you don't get one, a partridge, rough grouse, they explode off the ground.
Yeah.
They fly through the trees. They're hard to hit, and there is not a dumb one in my neck of the woods this time of year. They're just fun to go after because they're explosive. There's grays, there's reds, and a lot of times we're eating hamburgers afterwards. But ruffed grouse are just a fun thing to chase.
And they're tasty.
Oh man,
They're crazy tasty. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
One of your favorite Northland products.
If I had to pick a favorite, probably, and it's maybe I don't use it a lot, but it's the Whistler jig, the
Okay.
Northland Whistler jig. I used it when I was a kid, and I used it in rivers and everything. And it is probably one of the most unique baits with a bow tie spinner blade on it, a jig head, and it kind of got lost. But Northland, that's their jig. They made it,
That's
and
old
now
school.
there's a
I know.
whole bunch of copycat
Yeah.
things coming out
Mhm.
based on that now because of forward viewing. The Whistler jig was the original, and you could still use that and save $10. Buy a Whistler jig and don't get that other goofy thing that's out there. Uh, but if everybody looks at what a Whistler jig is, throw it in front of your forward facing sonar. That is really cool stuff, and I use it since I was a kid. And you could troll it, cast it,
Mhm.
drag it, use it in a river vertical. You could use it under the ice. Whistler jig.
Yeah.
It's a note if you haven't seen one.
So it's really funny that you say that because I'm 44 years old. I'm not a young pup anymore. And I remember the first time I saw, maybe you were trying to avoid this, but I remember the first time I saw a megabass screw head, like the what is it, Okashira or whatever it is, that is literally a fancier version of the Whistler jig. And I remember the first time I saw it, I said to somebody, I'm like, dude, that's the Whistler jig, just like and they're like, the what? I'm like, those things were like 80 cents back in the day when I go to like the hardware store to go fish with my buddies at the pond. And now two of those at Shields are like $12 for the Megabass version. I'm like, that's literally just like a fancied up version of it. So yeah, it's funny you say that because I've actually had that same exact thought.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's something I've used them on the Missouri River and when I fished the FLW Walleye Tour,
Mm.
pitching sandbars where it's a steep cut, and that thing comes dropping in, and there's just a toilet flush. You set the hook, and you got a 26-inch, 28-incher,
Yeah.
and throwing it in brush, you could tick over the brush with it. I've used them down in Lake Oahe. I've used them on Erie. I've thrown them on Green Bay, and not everywhere I threw them, I got fish, but even Mille Lacs when everybody's dragging super long snells and leeches before all the zebra mussels. Whistler jig, man. It was
Yeah.
just great. Great idea. John Peterson, the original owner of Northland Tackle, came up with something that was like way out there. And I think they got to claim their territory and start doing Whistler 2.0, 3.0 or something
Yeah.
because I could tell you if we said every time we seen some copy at the tackle shop and we said dude, we'd be going dude, dude,
Yeah.
dude, dude.
True. Yeah, it's absolutely true. All right, so let me hit you with an easy one. It's almost like an either or. One of your favorite. If you had to pick between open water or ice, are you more ice or more open water?
Ice.
I
I
thought so.
love ice.
I thought
And
the way you talk about it, there's so much passion there.
let me
Yeah,
tell you
for
something.
sure.
Nate, you got to understand. You have a snowmobile. You go out on the ice, and wait till there's like 7-8 inches of ice, and
Right.
you're on your sled. Everything's right there. You got your graph. You got all the stuff. It is the best couch because it's like memory foam. That
Yeah.
snowmobile, a snowmobile seat. Find a snowmobile seat the next time you see one and sit on it. It is so comfortable, and to fish on that platform all day. And then when you have snow, you're not scaring the fish. You could drill a bunch of holes, come back, and then fish through them. You can cover miles on a snowmobile. And if you're doing it on bare ice, you're going to get a lot of dirty looks.
Funny. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's solid. What's one of your favorite fast food chains?
Mm. Oh my. Probably
Oh my.
I would probably have to say probably Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, that's what Easton Fothergill said too.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say I
I
think we're
guess
2 for 2 on Chick-fil-A.
hard to
I
argue.
it would have been Taco Bell, but
Yeah,
then before that it was Zantigos.
what's I don't even,
Zantigos, there's I think there's a couple left, and they had a really, really awesome burrito. Their sauce was wonderful. It's
okay.
all about the sauce, right? You eat the sauce and throw a burrito
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
But when I think about it, that Chick-fil-A, how
yeah.
they have that, it's a real chunk of meat on there and their batter.
No.
You could see why they're so busy, and it doesn't matter if you get a sandwich and then the waffle fries. And I shouldn't be eating waffle fries because I'm going to be walking on thin ice here pretty soon. But I'm telling you, Chick-fil-A is A-OK with me.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Also,
Yeah. You got a sauce preference?
okay, I was about to
Oh,
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heinz ketchup. You
Oh,
know,
really?
yeah, there's got to be some kind of mind control in that stuff because I could just squirt it in my mouth,
Yeah.
and it's so good. But give me the barbecue sauce or what they got a lot of sauces, but
Ew.
Yeah.
just throw me some Heinz ketchup on that thing.
Yeah, that's good. Have you had
And then waffle fries,
oh yeah,
it's a
they're
snow
like
shovel, man.
yeah,
It's
they're
a
like
snow
a
shovel.
spoon for it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have you had bro, have you had the Chick-fil-A breakfast?
No,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
I haven't.
Dude, it's so good. It's like it's the Chick-fil-A like the fillet of chicken in like you can get it in a full size or like little mini biscuits, like just homemade mama from the South biscuits with the Chick-fil-A. Oh my gosh. It's
Yeah.
it's
I'd probably rather have the breakfast than the regular. Like
good.
it's
Wow.
incredible.
It's so
It's really good.
people don't talk about it, but it is so freaking good. Yeah. Like
I haven't
gotta
been there. McDonald's egg
yeah,
McMuffin.
yeah.
You
Perfect.
can't
Hard to
you
beat.
can't fake
Hard
an
to
egg.
beat.
You
Yeah.
can't destroy an egg.
Yeah.
It's an egg, right? And you throw that other stuff. That's simple. But if I had to weigh things out, I think a Taco John's loaded breakfast burrito.
Also very good.
I mean, it just puts a smile on you. It does. I mean, my belly's smiling.
Yeah, man. He said,
Yeah.
"Why?"
Lots of sauce.
let's
Lots of hot sauce on that thing too.
also let me
Heck yeah.
let's press pause and ask a real serious question, bro. Would
Sure.
Taco John's even exist if it weren't for potato olays?
Oh boy.
So good, dude, and they're such a standout from every other like fast food place side. They're just,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just tater tots, but the salt on them or the seasoning on them, man, I could eat a bucket of those things.
Get
They
them with the
do.
cheese, boy.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
They
my
do
god.
good. I mean, you know, you get a couple of things from Taco John's compared to Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Probably going to be a little bit more expensive.
it is.
Um, you know, Crunch Wrap at Taco Bell, everything else at Taco John's, but and then if Chi-Chi's existed, then you'd sit down and eat
Jeez,
something.
dude. Yeah, I remember that place.
Humunga Chunga. Man, I gotta have a lot of plaque in my arteries.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll hit you up with a couple other things. We'll get out of here.
Mhm.
All right. So one of your favorite things to do, because if you're traveling around from lake to lake and traveling, whatever, are you like a podcast or a music guy? And whichever one you pick, give us an example of what you get down with.
Um, Probably I would go from rock to a local country station
Okay.
and back and forth, depending if it's if the dog and the truck got taken away or if a divorce, I'd switch over to rock.
Okay. You don't want
And,
the depressing country music.
well, I like it. It's part of our roots. It's the beginning of
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and rock is awesome. Also, if you watch my stuff, I get a little help from Retro Heather on my on the music stuff. So if you got a little Vandals in there and
Yeah.
others, you know, a little bit of the Germs. Well,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't know who they were if it wasn't for her.
Okay.
And but I'm gonna know who you know Willie is or Waylon or that
Mm.
kind of stuff. And
Waylon, Billy,
yes,
and
and
boys.
you know the just the basic stuff. But it's all about music is good.
Yeah.
It gets you going, helps you drive.
Yeah.
If I'm in a hurry, I'm definitely gonna want Led Zeppelin on or Van Halen.
I like that.
Not Van Hagar,
Yeah.
but Van
Oh,
Halen.
okay. All right. Fair enough. Good distinction. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
but
dig it for sure.
music's fun, and I'm always thinking, and so I love I love podcasts,
Mhm.
and but it's I'm always thinking about 3 moves ahead of every day that I work in.
Mhm.
So you know, my mind is somewhere else all the time.
I like that. Yeah. All right, Nate, hit him with one more, and then we'll move on to something else, and then we'll get up out of here.
Favorite Minnesota sports team.
Hmm.
Uh, they're gone. They went to Texas, but anyway, of the existing ones, the Vikings. You know, I mean,
Okay.
Heather watches them more than me, and if Retro Heather's happy, I'm happy.
Do you always call her Retro Heather?
Yeah, that's her handle.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because she listens to the retro stuff. You know, uh, if you ever watch that stuff, so it's a great name, great handle.
Yeah,
But
it
she
is.
likes everything, but she wants to keep the retro stuff around. I mean, everything that exists now is because somebody, you know, paved a road, right? And in music, somebody
For
paved the
sure.
road or made the gravel or the tire tracks, and in fishing, the same. You know,
Yeah.
I have the ultimate respect for everybody that was here before me. The ultimate respect for, you know, Easton and Gussie and Brian Gustafson up there too, and all these guys that do well in everything they do in the tournaments. Um, you know, the walleye tournaments. Tom Wynn, great guy. Met him before he was, you know, in the stratosphere, and he's always been a good guy. And uh, after he took over, you don't hear about anybody else on the list. I mean, you could tell who's in the top 10, but no one will remember. They only remember Tom Wynn.
Mhm.
You know, and that's but everybody that was there before. You know, even from Gary Roach to you know, Tommy Keenan, Dean Arnoldson, and there's a
Yeah.
couple of Scotty guys right there,
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure.
and Chris Burns from Iowa. You know, all these guys that have carved their niche in the fishing world. Al Linder, Ron Linder, and how about Virgil Ward?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Doug
Absolutely.
Stangy,
Yep. For sure.
another great, very straightforward, tells you like it is, and you know, to Troy Linder, Nick Linder, just great guys,
Yeah.
good
Let,
people.
let's try that then. This might be a loaded question that might take a second, but if you had to pick a Mount Rushmore, your 4 top, who would it be? It made me think of that because Al Linder is always the one that comes to my mind right away, and then I kind of struggle with the other 3. But who makes your Mount Rushmore, bro?
Oh,
It's a good one.
absolutely, it would be Al Linder, Ron Linder, of course.
Yeah.
He's he was behind the scenes, but he was just a big force. I'd have to put Dave Gens, and if he hears this, I hope his head doesn't get too big. But Dave Gens would have to be up there,
Yeah, sure.
and you know, I think for some modern heroes, I think Tom Wynn, just for only being in fishing walleyes a short amount of time, and being the guy that brought all the walleye fishermen to the front end of the boat,
Mm.
like bass guys.
Yeah, yep.
He did it. Everybody's seen him in the front. Now they're all in the front,
Yeah.
and so you can thank Tom. So he was cutting edge, and he didn't. It's not like he intended to have everybody follow him, but they're all doing what he does now.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
but take away all, you know, forward viewing. I always say that there's certain people that always boil to the top,
Yeah, I agree.
and of course Kevin Van Dam. I mean, he'd have to be up there. So
Yeah, that's good. That's a great list. That's what.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, Nate, you got anything else? I want to ask him a couple like future questions. You got anything else before we transition out of this into something else, Nate?
Man, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I do have one.
All right, go ahead now.
So I don't know how quick it'll be or whatever, but we always talk, forward facing versus traditional fishing and this and that. Do you ever get any flack for using the Explore and the active or the live target
The
two for
idiot box.
yeah. Do you ever get any flack for that over a traditional flasher?
No, not really, because
I think that's so stupid.
I think that for me, the box or the forward, FFS, forward facing sonar, does not put fish on your line. You still have to catch them. And
Thank you.
I got one story about it. Quick one. There was a AIS agent who checks for weeds and invasives on your boat. And when I got to the Axis, I got there a little bit late. I was running behind, and I couldn't find a parking spot, and I had to park really far away. When I came in with my clients, the whole place was empty, and I could see my truck way up the road. I was the last person there. I said, "What happened, man? Did war break out, or what's going on here?" He said, "It was horrible. People come in and nobody was catching fish. One boat had three." And I said, "How many people had forward-facing sonars? With the down rods? All of them. Some had two. They
Huh.
couldn't get them to bite, and we had our limit 18. So
Wow.
that tells you
That's a good
it's
stuff.
Yeah.
not forward-facing. When they're biting, it's scary because the game wardens say the live wells are full of everything that swims when they're biting. But when they're not biting, they don't get them because they're not on the water every day.
Yep.
And when you're out there every day, you're gonna. So we had to. That particular day was a midge fly hatch, and the walleyes were feeding up, and they're in 28 feet of water, and they're coming 10 feet off the bottom. So we used panfish leeches on 16th ounce black tungsten heads. And if you got closer than 10 feet to the bottom, you had to reel in and recast. And you couldn't use a bobber, they would swim away. Even in that water, they didn't want it. It had to be floating and slowly swimming forward. And you couldn't jig it, you had to swim it like it had to kind of go like this real slow.
Sure.
And they would pound it. And or just a tiny chunk of a crawler in on a little gold short shank tungsten jig head. And it was one of those days. So right there, that told me forward facing is not going to clean out the lakes when
Right.
it's tough.
Right.
But in the in this area, people can look for crappies and see them easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's about ethics. Don't over harvest.
No doubt.
Don't sort in deep water. And I'm hearing stories from lakes in the wintertime, the mid south and deep south. Not much going on. Just bass club league things, whatever. But now there's people targeting deep water fishing, 80 feet of water, Kentucky spots, pulling them up out of deep water, and they pop. And they're small and they don't want them. And so
Hmm.
now everybody is virally aware of where the fish are, and they're seek them in deep water, chasing them in that deep water. And I think it's about now we just gotta educate people on not to over harvest or destroy lakes. Deep water is bad. Go there when you have to, just a little bit, but don't make a big impact. And fish are old. They're older than most people think. And so you got to add up the years. So in my area, a walleye that's 28 to 30 inches could be 27 to 30 years old.
Wow.
So if you go out in a day
Jeez.
and you pluck a bunch of fish out of deep water, you've just killed hundreds of years. So that's where we as anglers have to be careful. And when I'm guiding, it's about getting eaters, maybe targeting big fish. And there's some bigs. It's mostly mediums. 25 inches or whatever. But it's how you treat the resource. Take what you need. Uh, be careful. And for me, the day goes fast
Yeah.
because I'm not guessing and running and trying to figure out if there's fish there or not. I see some, I don't see some. Like the past, the first 27 years of my existence, I didn't always see fish, and we put it together. I put it together just by just moving around and staying on top of it, and lot of work. And now I know they're there. So now you're not fishing for fish, you're fishing fish. And still,
That's
the
good.
way things are, we have so much bait in our waters. Forward facing sonar is not overly deadly right now, and it hasn't been this whole year. It's extremely helpful to not, bomb. But I look at it this way: if someone's getting into fishing and it gets them into fishing, teach them it, and then also teach them what's good to take or not to take, and fish shallow.
Sure.
There's, what's
Yeah.
happened with zebra mussels. The fish aren't in those super deep depths. If they are, they're just big old ones. Fish shallow, and the fish, as the water got clearer, when I first started, there was a lot of fish in that 30 to 50 feet of water, eater sized walleyes. Now they're shallower and getting shallower and shallower.
Hmm.
It's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
on a bright, sunny day, calm, water temperature 75 degrees, it's glass. Walleyes are sitting up in 5 feet of water on a gin clear lake, and you can go up and you can see them, and they're just like a herd of sheep up there,
Wow.
and they all take off. And it just seems like they're going shallower and shallower. And if there's weeds, that's super important. If there's rusty crayfish in the water, they're going to eat all the weeds gone. So now you got no weeds. You just got a big desert.
Yeah.
But the fish have to hold somewhere. So little tiny substrates will hold fish. And so keep that in mind. Forward facing sonar is not the end. It educates us on what's there. There's going to be some bad apples that just want to kill everything. And, wait, that sounds like my neighbors. No, just kidding. Uh, no, we all have friends that, you know, they just want to just, but it's about having fun, setting a hook, enjoying what's around you.
Yeah.
That's why I fish. When I was 9 years
Yeah.
old, my uh, sister-in-law said, "Why do you want to fish so much?" Because all I wanted to do is fish.
Yeah.
And I was 9 years old, and I said, "It's my excuse to be in extraordinary places."
Hmm.
And she goes, "How'd you come up with that? You're an old man in a kid's body.
Profound.
You're not a kid. You're an old man in a kid's body." And
Yeah.
so it's my excuse to be in extraordinary places because you see loons, you see deer swimming across a lake, the sound of the water, what it does visually. Someone who's into cameras and takes pictures, you cannot beat water.
Yeah.
There's so many different refractions and different phases of how it looks. Just the sound, the wind going across it, the splashing. Um, it's pretty cool. Plus, you're seeing nature's landscape. Where I'm at, there's not a lot of development on the lakes. You're looking at nature's tree line and not the geodesic tree line.
Yeah. Dadgummit. Man, this dude's preaching, Nate. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I love it.
incredible for sure.
Now,
Nate, you got to go ice fishing now.
yeah,
Hey, I'll be honest. You're starting to convince me a little bit. I might have to pick up one of these 7 combos and try to get after a few.
yeah, man.
Get the panfish combo with that reel, and you'll love it. And there's some great stuff coming out of St. Croix. Keep an eye on it, guys, with their combos. You're going to be surprised. And they actually have a sale right now for a while, so of their of stuff. So, but no, just a great company.
Yeah, great I
Like,
mean,
yeah,
Wisconsin, that's a religion around here. I mean,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah, we don't. It's kind of rad. We don't have a rod sponsor for tackling tacos, and so we're
Yeah.
free. I have Mega Bass rods, and I have Denali rods, and I have Daiwa, and I have St. Croix, and yeah, it's just fun, kind of playing with everything. And we were just telling, I don't know who we were talking to about this, but St. Croix, somewhere along the line, they've always made great rods, but now it's like I don't know if I want to say marketing, but like their ability to make them look cool and put out cool t-shirts, and the 7 reels look really, it's just like they just took an already great product and made it cooler looking, cooler feeling, more appealing. And yeah, they're killing it. It's like they just kind of switched gears a little bit.
They've engineered stuff. They have patents on their engineering, and they've invented stuff right in their right in their. It's like a lab in there. What they do.
Park Falls.
They're the last company to make rod blanks in the United States for
Are they
open
really?
water. Yep. So they,
Wow.
yeah. So that's kind of daunting.
Serious.
And right
Yeah,
there
it's
in Park
serious.
Falls, Wisconsin, and
Yeah.
they take raw basic ingredients and make a finished product. 32 Americans, they have their desks, their work area, and they make this thing, and they have technology to check within thousandth of an inch and everything to make sure that it is exactly like it should have been
Mhm.
3,000 rods ago. So it's going to be exactly the same as when you bought it in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple years ago, I don't remember what it was. A buddy of mine, he was going to Park Falls, and they have a really good discount for veterans too, which I respect the crap out of. I love when people take care of people who made this country what it is.
Yes.
Anywho, he was bringing a couple of his rods back, and I had a St. Croix Legend glass, like that burnt orange color one, like a fiber used for chatterbaits. It's awesome. It's like a 7.4 heavy. It's the perfect chatterbait rod. Anyway, I was grabbing another fish, and it was right next to the gunnel of my boat, and I kind of knelt on it, and I cracked it like lengthwise, oddly enough.
Yeah.
And he brought it in when he brought his rods in. They didn't ask for a receipt, didn't ask. And I don't know if that's everything, so I don't want to say they'll do that for everybody, but they swapped them out, no questions asked, gave me a brand new one. I brought it home. And I don't know. I respect a company that stands behind what they make. And again, we're not sponsored by St. Croix, so I'm not doing some fake commercial. So I've just been impressed by my interactions with them.
I've been with them for decades, and yeah, I think it's a big part of our success when I'm guiding people because we're using extremely light, high modulus SC4, SC5 uh, carbon, and the best, reel seats, eyelets. It's super light.
Mhm.
We got high end bearings in a seven reel, and sunline braid to a fluorocarbon leader to a tungsten jig head. When they get my boat, I put a lot of thunking in it. I
Yeah.
thunked about it a long time, and
Yep.
if it's light, when that fish grabs it, I think they're already ahead of the game.
I agree.
And so I don't give them a rod that I wouldn't use. I give them the best rods, and I'll use whatever's the lesser.
Mhm.
That's my divining rod. I like to pitch and see what's going on. I have the lure I wash. I wash a different one all the time just to see different colors, whatever. And it's people appreciate it, and I think that's one of the reasons I stay busy is just making sure people have the best. And I always tell them treat that like it's a wallet with $800 in it. And, and
Yeah.
I only had once where a guy was lighting a cigarette, and a walleye pulled in this rod, and I went after it, and he goes, "What was that? $40?" So because he said that, I make sure people know that don't
Yeah.
just let this go in the water. And I've only had one
Yeah.
rod lost
Yeah.
the
No,
entire time. If it breaks, that's one thing, but if it goes overboard, so I have my little talk on the way out as we're driving, and I got a Mercury Verado 4-stroke, so I could talk as we're driving, which is
sure.
crazy enough. And
Yeah.
it's a V10, and I could talk like this, and they could hear me.
Mhm.
And I give them I get them up to speed, and they know exactly what to do. And most of my clients are repeats, so they know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So
What are you running on there on that line? Tell me about your setup. Oh, two questions. One,
yeah.
I keep on wanting to end, but I keep on wanting to ask you questions. Braid to fluoro. Are you a FG guy? Are you a Alberto, crazy Alberto? What knot are you tying?
Well, I'll just use a uni. I don't need to do Alberto or any of that stuff. If I swing in a 19-inch walleye and it snaps, well, then I didn't go enough times on the wrap.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
So
logically. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do a uni going across the lake with the trolling motor and a rod out. I
That's,
could tie it. And
that's how I feel about Alberto knots. I can tie them pretty easy where other guys use that FG knot, which I actually think is a better knot, but I feel like I need two more arms and like another foot or something to hold it while I'm trying to tie it. So, yeah.
well, if you're in a Bassmaster Elite Championship,
Yeah.
you're going to use the FG.
Yeah.
If you're on a guide trip, you're not going to snap anything off of my boat on a uni.
Yeah.
Everybody could come just tie whatever knot you want, you're not going to snap it off. I'm netting your fish.
Right.
We're swinging in
Yeah.
the bananas, and so if it snaps, I just retie. That's
Yeah.
no big
Yeah.
deal. But if you got money on the line,
Well,
your future, then if I was going to jump back into the National Walleye Tour or something, I've been out for about 8 years. I
Mhm.
just got busy, and now since it went from traditional to forward facing sonar, so I missed the whole forward facing sonar thing in the new tournament field,
Mhm.
and I don't think I missed anything.
Sure.
Uh, and it'd be probably FG,
Yeah.
but you don't need that on a guide trip or a fun fishing trip.
Right.
You know, and if a fish gets away, it's like a stocking program. The fish got off. Good for the fish, right?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
fast catch and release. Take 2 seconds if you would. Tell me about your boat setup. I'm curious.
Yeah, I have a Lund 219 glass with
Okay.
a
Running glass.
400 V10 on the
Yep.
back, 2 talons. I've got Humminbird Explorers all around on a Quest trolling motor and Fish Armor down pole. And I'm going to probably put one on the other side so people can mess around with it. And just amazing from where I was in forward facing from a few years back to now. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but side imaging is a major part of my day. Side imaging will tell me, hey, it's time to move
Yeah.
because these aren't walleyes. These are
Mm.
whitefish. These are lake suckers. These are not what we're after. There might be one or two in there. Then I'll watch boats with forward facing sonar, 2 of them even, sit on a school of suckers on a rock pile during bug hatches all day long and wonder why they only got 2 walleyes.
Yeah.
And I say it in all my reports. I tell people there there's rough fish alerts. Don't be careful out there. And they're not carp. They're natural to the lake, and that's what you buy in the bait shop, white suckers, when you're using them for pike
Yeah.
or walleyes. But in the lake, they get to 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds, and
That's so
it's
crazy.
just like a walleye.
Yeah.
And they even bite your hook once in a while. So if you're throwing bobbers, which seems to be the tournament thing now for walleyes is throwing bobbers
Mhm.
um, or jigs, to the fish. Uh, a sucker will eat a crawler and a bobber on a jig head. So if you're using leeches, to leave it alone. But it's good to know. And side imaging is so incredible now. You can see zebra mussel shells in between the waves of sand.
Wow.
It's just incredible right
Yeah.
now on that Explorer.
Yeah, they are nice. I like that Explorer a lot.
Yeah.
You like that 400? That thing, the chaps on that thing, like the gear case, like above the lower unit, like how it kind of flares out like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is that thing. First off, that motor is freaking gantic. We did at Zacco's, we did a oil change for a fellow who's going out on the walleye tour. He's a friend of Ted Takasaki's, and it's actually Ted's old boat. It's a Lund glass with a 400 on it, and we didn't have a filter. So we're like, this is a pro. He's going out the next day. So I drove all over the place, clear up like an hour and a half north of here to find a filter at a different marine place to bring it back to change for him because it's a different deal than the normal 250 Verado. And like that thing's, that's a motor, bro. Like that's no joke.
I'm telling you, it's a great motor, and I've loved it. I'm getting some hours on it, but it'll be good for the next person. I put it away today. I went out for a little while and had to break ice to get out there.
Uh-oh.
Well, you got to get there,
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I smashed through about a mile and a half of ice, and I got out there, and there's 2 other boats out there also that smashed through ice, and you couldn't beat it. It was just a gorgeous day, almost
Yeah.
50 degrees,
Yeah.
cold,
Yeah.
and the fish were just hitting so hard.
Yeah.
And, but that boat, I actually have my boat for sale, and it's a great value. If you buy a boat like that, you're like you're looking at $1.15, $1.20, and I've
Easy.
got about 40 to 50 in stuff on it. So I'll just say that it's for sale if anybody's looking.
Hmm.
I probably will put it away and then open it up for sale in the spring. And I'm just getting the same thing,
Yeah.
just keeping the hours low. But like a big boat like that, and we've had nothing but wind. It's never calm anymore.
Yeah.
It's always
Right. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say 5 to 10. It's 25, and I wouldn't be able to guide in a regular boat that I
Sure.
see people out in these little crafts, and I like the big glass boat. Aluminum's okay, but give me the glass. I got people that are 80s. I got people that are 10 years old. I got to have ladies that might be 6 months. And you just got to have a boat. They're going to feel comfortable, safe
Yeah.
in anything, and you're just going to go because you only get that day, that time for taking them out.
Yeah. 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 That's a beautiful setup. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So one last question I have for you, bro, and then Nate, if you got anything else you want to throw in, then we'll let you go. Where do you want all this to go? I mean, because you're not young, but you're not old. You have plenty of years left in the game if you want them. Are you eyeing a finish line? Or are you just going to keep going until your legs give out? What's the future look like for you?
I can't see myself retiring, but I could see myself maybe not going at it like I do, and
Oh,
so I'm gonna pass the torch eventually.
mhm.
I'm gonna wait till I grow up and I get old, then I'll pass the torch. But right now, I've got a lot of life on me.
Yeah.
I consider myself a young person at heart.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean, who else? If you look through their videos, have the Germs and Vandals playing,
Yeah. I love it.
and I mean, I'm old enough to have seen, you know, a lot of stuff and to have been around some of the, those people on Mount Rushmore we were talking about.
Mhm.
I've been around them. I've talked to them and got advice from them, but I'm just a working guy. I'm not, I don't have some big multimedia empire. I'm just a working guide and I have some sponsors. Live a simple life. And if you hire me, you end up with me.
Yeah.
You don't get somebody else.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Heck
Dang.
yeah.
That's great. What else you got, Nate?
Yeah, I don't think I got a whole lot else. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I honestly I could see myself maybe standing on the ice for a little bit,
There you go.
sitting on a bucket.
And put in
Yeah,
about 1, 2, 3 hours and go on a decent day when there's good ice development. You're
right.
gonna love it because there's solitude there. Even if you're on a busy lake and there's a lot of people out there, it's peaceful. You're actually physically walking on water, and the fish are below you.
Yeah. It's
It
neat.
is deer hunting for fish. It
Yeah.
is.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, if anybody wants to find out more about Mr. Brian Brosdahl, you can look at his website, brosguideservice.com. Brian, if somebody was interested in hitting you up for guiding or your boat or whatever, is that just the best place to find you?
Yeah, just go to Bros Guide Service. You can follow some of my stuff and just just call me bro. The cops and tax people call me Brian. So just call me bro. I Even my wife calls me bro. I've been bro since I was 9 years old,
That's
and I was. It was a nickname given to me, and I didn't like it
yeah.
because all these real dish of girls that I liked, that they're dreamy girls, called me Big Red, and I love that. And then so everybody called me bro because I'm Brian Brosdahl, and so and so I didn't like it. And you don't get to pick your nickname. If you pick your nickname,
It ain't it.
that ain't it, man. And so I didn't
Yeah.
pick it, and it stuck.
Yeah.
Now I love it
Yeah.
because I'm the only bro in fishing.
Yeah. You're bro. Yeah.
I'm bro,
Heck
but
yeah.
I can't own it because
Yeah.
there's 24,000 bros.
Yeah.
But I am the only bro in fishing. But
You're bro.
uh,
Yeah.
very unique, and but it was great being on here. I like you guys have fun with it,
Yeah.
and tomorrow's another day. I'm probably gonna go. I got a little work to do. Then I'm gonna go grouse hunting because in my house in the middle of the woods right now, as my alarms are going off, I got deer feeding all over. Um, I still have to write Midwest Outdoors. I have to
Okay.
get it. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have you know, don't have a fairy godmother that's going to do it. I have to do it, and
Midwest Outdoors is legendary.
yeah,
Legendary.
Heck
so I have to put something real fun and snarky in there, and I wrote it, and it's not AI because it's terrible, and I have humor.
yeah.
Because it's terrible sense of humor. That's a perfect combination.
I love it. That's it,
Yeah.
and I'm not changing anything.
Good. Yeah, I love that,
Heck
dude.
yeah.
Well, I think we'll end it there. Mr. Brosdahl, you can go ahead and hang up. We appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for being on our podcast.
All right, Jordan, Nate, you're
Heck
ice
yeah.
fishing, and Jordan and Dom, congrats. We'll talk to you guys later. See you
All right,
later.
bro. Appreciate you
Hey,
so.
thank you.
Bye-bye. Man, exactly how I thought he would be. Exactly,
for
how
sure.
just fun and talkative and so freaking passionate. Obviously loves fishing, loves being outside. What a nice dude, man.
Yeah, no, it's the passion that people bring to things that make you want to pursue them, make you want to do them, and that's exactly it. Like, I mean, I think it's right over here on a shelf. I still have an ice rod that I kept, all these years that I
Yeah.
didn't get rid of.
Yeah.
So I've got one. Might need to grab a few more things and at least give her a go.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about Bro was his combination of passion, where he would just go off on these rants and just kind of talk and talk and talk. But then in there was also like these really 2 + 2
Gems,
4 incredible tips. Like these just
gems.
yeah, just these black and white, like bang,
Gosh,
like these, like, even the idea that he said about like fluorocarbon because you're vertically fishing and fluoro sinks. Like, obviously I know that, but I'd never thought about it like that obvious or that straightforward, I guess, in the context of ice fishing.
yeah,
On earth would you throw floating monofilament line or floating braid, whatever, unless you're, using the tip up with a bunch of weight, whatever. Anyway, when you're fishing vertically, and how he kept on saying, like, ice fishing is like deer hunting. You're up above and you're going down below. Like all these really simple, obvious thoughts. And yeah, I would love to go ice fishing with him and just
oh
steal
god, that'd be a blast.
all that stuff. And like the way he spoke, like I spent time with like Michael Waddell of Bone Collector and the Druries and whatever through my filming and doing video stuff with Working Class Bow Hunter. And they're the exact same way. When they get to talking about hunting, they just barf out these tips that like blow your mind. And you're like, whoa, I never thought of that. And for them, it's just second nature because they've done it
Yeah.
for so long and they're so good at it and they care about it so much. And Bro was the exact same way with fishing in general, but definitely ice fishing. That was really fun to listen to.
Yeah, it was awesome. Made me think of a lot of the man himself, Steve Jonasy, with the guiding for muskie and the
Yeah.
passion for it and the knowledge that they just absolutely spew and the humor and like everything. Like, that's a dude you want to go fishing with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to like plug a sponsor here, but like, okay, so like Loophole, right? They've been doing all the optics stuff for 100+ years. They are going to know stuff through that 10 decades of experience that you can't get there without the experience. You can read about it all you want. You can watch all the year turb videos. It's not the same as actually doing it. And Steve Jonasy or Bro or whoever, the people who have like the long play in the game, they've been doing it so long. You can't outfish a dude like Bro with his amount of time on the water, on the ice, whatever. You can't do it. Because like he said that story with the dudes checking boats for weeds and all that when you go from lake to lake, all that stuff, and everybody's experienced it who's fished, especially up north, and how all these other boats were catching nothing, but he had the experience. Okay, this isn't working, try this. That's not working, try this. That's not work. He had plan A through L, where most dudes have plan B. You know what I'm saying? And you can't fake that funk.
Yeah, no, for sure. To be able to put that knowledge together, like he said, they wanted the leech 10 foot off the bottom, and if it got too deep, they weren't eating it, and you had to finesse it in or swim it of sorts, and like yeah, that's just
Not jig it,
that's
swim, 16th ounce micro panfish tungsten jig. Yep, he had plan B, B, all the way down.
yeah,
And
that's putting the knowledge on them.
You can't fake that. I wanted to say something. So I'm looking at his website right now, Bro's Guide Service on my other screen. So here's some of the crazy stuff. Like, and I don't even know how much he updates this. My guess is it's been changed. If you watch him on social media at all, like on YouTube or whatever, he's always fishing. This dude is always on the water. He's always, and he'll straight up, like, like I'm a big barbecue fan, and every barbecue, here's a plug for a YouTube channel, Ants Barbecue, ANT''S. He's not a barbecue guy. I mean, I think he probably is in his spare time, but he's gotten kind of pretty big in the barbecue world for going to the best barbecue places in the world and spending 24 to 48 hours with those barbecue places and like just watching how they do stuff. And every one of those, at some point, the barbecue, like the pitmaster guy will say like, these ribs, this beef cheek, whatever, it's salt and pepper and some other stuff. They always kind of play some stuff close to the vest. They're not showing you all the good. They'll tell you some of it, but not all of it. And bro, on his YouTube and stuff, he's not doing that. He's like ultra specific. I was using this bait in this depth. This is how I was working it. I was looking out for these other things. And then this is what made him finally bite. Like, if you follow this dude, like, this is a stupid statement. If you follow bro, like on social or on YouTube, you will get better at fishing. Especially as it relates to walleye or ice or whatever. Like, you're just going better because he's just not, he's letting the juice loose. He's not hiding it. But anyway, on his website, brosguideservice.com, media highlights. Guest host of Midwest Outdoors TV. He's been on Linder's Angling Edge. He's been on In-Fisherman. He's been on North American Fisherman. He's been on Due North TV. He's written articles for FNW, Ice Fishing Annual, Field and Stream, FLW Outdoors, Game and Fish, In-Fisherman Magazine, In-Fisherman Ice Guide, Midwest Outdoors Magazine, North American Fisherman Magazine, Outdoor News, Walleye Insider, and many other publications. Holy mastacholi.
That's incredible.
Basically the who's who of multi-species fishing. Bro has been on the show or contributed to their magazines, and we just had
that's incredible.
Like, that's pretty dope. I would read you off his sponsors, but we'd be here for the next like hour and a half because it's like it's stupid. I mean, it's like a ticker tape of just blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that's all I got, man. I loved his vibe. He fit the positivity, he's worth the effort vibe to a T. I like his idea. I didn't disagree with a single thing he said about forward-facing sonar. Just the idea that, like, it's another tool. Be ethical. Don't go pulling fish out of 80 feet of water and having their swim bladder come popping out and kill them.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought everything he said was spot on. And I don't know if I've ever had a guest on the show that I was like, I didn't really like that guy. But I can't say I agree with everything everyone's ever said. Forward-facing sonar stance was spot on for me. What do you think, Nate?
No, he hit the nail on the head when it came to about everything, especially the forward facing sonar deal. I was just curious if he got any flack on not using a flasher and whatnot, but the detail he went into with that was surprising and amazing at the same time. Like, absolutely spot on, like you said. So it was dope.
Yeah, good combination of adjectives there for sure. And then also, check out the St. Croix stuff, man. They kill it in open water. They kill it in ice fishing. And like I said, I don't have a 7 reel yet. So, St. Croix, shout out, hit us up if you
let's go.
But honestly, though, like, their ice fishing stuff, the cool thing about St. Croix, and this will be the last thing I say, and we'll get out of here. I'm sorry, I don't want to just blab on forever. But if you look at, like, even if you go back on this, if you're watching on YouTube and watch the combos bro was showing, they literally look like bass fishing finesse combos just shrunk.
Miniature,
they don't look like weird ice fishing rods. They look like legitimate fishing rods, just smaller. And obviously the why on that is if you drill a hole, you're not trying to sit off the hole 7 feet. That'd be really awkward for jigging and whatever. That's why they're shorter like that. And then some of them have like little flat ends at the end of or flat tips at the end of the rod, so it kind of jigs easier for, like, small fish. And the reels have great drag systems. They're not just some crappy 500 or 750 size reel. Like, they're the real deal. So check all that out. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Please, if you'd be willing to share this episode with a friend, tell somebody about it, put it on your socials. Honestly, I can't explain to you how much that means to us and how much it helps us grow. Give us a 5-star review and a written review on Apple Podcasts. Again, that helps us grow. That plugs it into when somebody's watching, I don't know what, our buddies at Serious Angler Podcast, and it says on the bottom of the screen, you might be interested in tackling tacos. That's a huge growth opportunity for us, and that only happens by consistent and more numbers of reviews. So check that out, Tackle and Tacos, all our social, tackleandtacos.com. That's it. We will catch you on the next one. Nate, Hit them.
Positivity is worth the effort. Peace.
Bye-bye. Thank you.